I actually left when my girlfriend told me she couldn't be with me anymore. My girlfriend Emma and I had been going through a really rough patch for months. She'd been dealing with depression, and when I suggested we try couples therapy, she totally refused at first. Things got so bad that she even threatened to hurt herself when I tried to leave once. I made sure she was safe and gave her another chance when she promised to get better and started taking medication. We finally started going to therapy together, but she kept missing appointments. I'd show up and sit there alone while the therapist asked where she was. I'd make excuses like she was sick or had to work, but really, she just didn't want to be there. Last Tuesday night, we were out at dinner and she could tell something was bothering me. She kept asking what was wrong, and I told her I wanted to talk about it when we got home so we could really sit down and discuss it properly. But she goes, "No, let's talk now." So I explained how stressed I'd been lately, especially trying to schedule our next therapy session knowing she probably wouldn't show up again. I told her how all the bad memories from our past kept coming back and it was just really hard to process everything. That's when she dropped the bomb. She looks at me across the table and says, "I don't see us working out." I asked her what she meant, and she goes, "You just keep bringing up the same old stuff over and over." I tried explaining that the real issue was how she'd been in denial about how bad our relationship had gotten. She didn't think we had nearly as many problems as we actually did. She kept minimizing everything and acting like I was overreacting. Then she says, "I don't want to be together anymore," just like that. So I said, fine, paid the check, and left. I drove home, packed my stuff, and moved back to my friend's place. I figured if she didn't want to be together, why would I stick around and torture myself? But here's where it gets crazy. 4 hours later, my phone starts blowing up. Emma's calling me over and over, sending these long texts about how I'm not giving her a chance and how we haven't had enough time in therapy yet. I told her it wasn't about the number of therapy sessions. It was about what we actually did outside of therapy that mattered. Every conversation we had, she was resistant and defensive. She only seemed to take things seriously when I'd finally had enough and was ready to walk away. She kept saying I was giving up too easily and that she deserved more chances, but I'd already given her plenty of chances. When someone tells you they don't want to be with you anymore, I'm not going to beg them to change their mind. The next day, she showed up at my work crying, saying she didn't mean what she said at dinner. She claimed she was just frustrated and scared about our problems, but I told her you can't just take back something like that when you realize the other person actually listened to you. Now she's telling all our friends that I abandoned her when she needed me most and that I'm cold for leaving so quickly. But honestly, I was exhausted from trying to save a relationship with someone who kept saying they didn't want to be in it. Sometimes you have to take people at their word.